Luke has really come a long way from last year this time to now. Just the confidence. You know, we're playing him outside a lot for necessity. I think he can play inside as well, but he's made some plays. It's definitely night and day difference from what he was last year.
Hey, look, if you can impress offensive coordinator Kliff Kingsbury, that means you doing something right. Luke McCaffrey just got praised by OC Kliff. He says it's a night and day difference from rookie year Luke and second year Luke. Let's talk about it.
The way that we live is not for everybody.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career and he's already milking injuries? Like,
stop saying my name, you dick rhyme, baby. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, and shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty love again now, she's confident.
So, I wanted to come on here to give some flowers to Luke McCaffrey, as it feels like a lot of people are starting to turn on him just slightly. Like, Luke has this interesting fan group. Like, it's no medium. It's either you are going to be patient with Luke McCaffrey and you see the potential in him, or you're simply just over him and not really a fan of him at all. Because from the reports of training camp and how some fans feel, some fans think he's bland and it ain't nothing to his game. But then you have this section of the fan base that truly is riding for him and thinks he has upside like no other. Well, Kliff Kingsbury put all the chatter to aside as he came out and said he looks night and day different compared to what he did last year. And that is encouraging because for the most part this camp, he has had some flashes, but rather has been flying under the radar. And I don't want to say he's been having a quiet camp because he's had some great plays that I've seen up close and personal and, you know, according to the beat reporters. But you know how we constantly hear Bill's name, constantly hear Trey Amos's name, constantly hear Mike Sanderstill's name. That's not the case for Luke McCaffrey. So he's kind of flying under the radar in a sense, and hearing Coach Kliff bring him up and rave about him almost, it's definitely comforting because I'm a huge Luke McCaffrey fan and I am not as set on him producing right now as I am, let's say, for a guy like Ben Sinnott, because I expect Ben Sinnott to have a monumental leap this year and be an intricate part of the success of this team. And maybe part of it isn't fair to him because I hold tight ends here to an exceptional standard because I am a Jordan Reed stan. I love Jordan Reed. I miss him every single day. He was, quite frankly, one of my favorite players growing up, if not my favorite Washington player before Terry McLaurin, of course. And he was so good. And since then, I've been fishing for that kind of tight end. So maybe it's not fair somewhat that I held him to a different standard than Luke McCaffrey. But Luke McCaffrey, again, is relatively new to the wide receiver position. But, of course, we know he's putting in the work and he wants it bad, man. He wants to be really good, as we've seen him put on some muscle with his brother Christian McCaffrey and his friend and, you know, co-worker in a sense, and Bijan Robinson. But you also had his dad, Ed McCaffrey, who came out and said that his son looks really good. So obviously it's like, okay, it's your pops, it's your family, they're rooting for you and they're saying you're looking really good. But now you see you have your coach saying the same thing. So maybe, just maybe, we'll see a monumental leap from Luke McCaffrey in year 2. But for me personally, I'm kind of taking it slow with him, allowing him to develop in a sense, just because I know he is new to the position still somewhat. Now, before we even continue to talk about his on-field production in terms of what he can do as a wide receiver for us, I think Luke McCaffrey's true, legitimate way to impress a lot of people. We're back. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Juan Gotti Command Extra post-game show is back for yet another season. Following each and every Washington Commanders game, call into the number 240-804-7327 to have your voice heard on the show. Win, lose, or draw, happy, upset, or mad, make sure you call into that number because I want to hear from you after every single game. It's to be a dominant kick returner. Now, I don't know about you, But I am a Luke McCaffrey kick returner stan. I think he needs to be the kick returner. If it's not Jalen Lane, which I think he's solely going to be a punt returner. If it's not Jalen Lane, I vote Luke McCaffrey as your starting kick returner. Remember, last year he had a couple jumps where he almost took it back to the crib, right? Like, especially that Eagles game. Almost, is he the fastest? Is he the quickest? Is he the most fluidest? No, but he has great vision for a receiver. He has great vision, and he knows how to just hit a hole and go. And that's essentially half of the part of a kick returner, right? Most of it is obviously the athletic background and your speed to get away. But a lot of it is the technique and the vision and the footwork. And he has that down packed. So if it's not Jalen Lane, I want it to be Luke McCaffrey. No, I don't want it to be Austin Eckler. Can Austin Eckler get it done? Yeah, but that's how he got hurt twice last year, both on special teams. And he's too valuable to this offense and too good, quite frankly. So I think it should be Luke McCaffrey. But even when you talk about his progression when it comes to him as a receiver, although it may not translate immediately on the field, the thing that you cannot take away from Luke McCaffrey, and this is kind of how I felt about De'Ami Brown, although they may not be the most talented person, they are some hard working wide receivers, and that is how our best receiver Terry McLaurin got to where he's at today. Is Terry McLaurin the biggest receiver? Is he the most fluid route runner? Is he the fastest guy, right? Does he have the best hands? No, but the reason why he's one of the best receivers in the game, and he'll tell you firsthand, and just looking at his journey overall, is hard work beats talent. And that's how my family told me, and I'm pretty sure you heard that saying growing up as well. You can be the most talented people. We've seen the most talented NFL players not work out because they failed to work hard, and that's not this case for Luke McCaffrey. As even in person, I got it on video, right? Like, he stayed after practice with JD5, and they worked on some red zone motion plays, and he looked good. Caught every pass, route was crisp, and he's putting in that work. Now, of course, he's not your wide receiver 1. He's not your wide receiver 2. Hell, he's not even your wide receiver 3. But he did have plays last year where he was getting open. I think if you turn on the Luke McCaffrey film, you've seen it time and time again. I even go back to that Steelers game where Jaden Daniels overshot him across the middle. And just think about countless other times where Luke McCaffrey was open. And one thing I will say about Luke, which I didn't think I would be able to say, is he doesn't really drop passes. Have you noticed that? Like, whether he is catching it with his hands, whether he's catching it with his body, if it's in the vicinity of Luke McCaffrey, he's 9 times out of 10 going to get it caught, right? And again, that's what you think about Terry McLaurin. Now, am I saying that he's Terry McLaurin-esque or has the potential to reach that level? No, I'm not. But again, what I'm saying is you can never go wrong with those kind of receivers in your room. And I'm pulling hard for Luke McCaffrey, as I think he has opportunity to be damn good in this league as a 3, maybe even, 4, right? Like, the true, I guess, positive of Terry McLaurin not being out there is that you're able to see a Luke McCaffrey in an elevated role. And has he had plays where he got locked down by Trey Amos? Yes, but it's Trey Amos, right? He's damn good. And Mikey Sanders, the same thing. But those guys are damn good. And you get to see him battle against these guys in practice and camp. And it definitely is going to vote well for him at the end of the day. Going up against Marshawn Lattimore and Jonathan Jones, he's going to have no choice but to get better. And when you go up against hard talent in practice, that makes the games that much easier. Stop me if you heard that before. So I would say this about Luke McCaffrey heading into year 2. It wouldn't surprise me if he blew up. It wouldn't at all. And I'm talking 500 receiving yards, maybe 600, maybe 700, maybe. But that's a good year for Luke McCaffrey. Coming from where he came from last year, that's a damn good year for him. And I think him and Jaden Daniels getting these extra reps in is going to bode well for him, because again, I only allude to that Steelers play because off the top of my head, that's the biggest one that I think I can remember off the top of my head, and that's the biggest one that killed me last year because we should have won that game. But I'm sure there are countless other games where he's wide open and 5 is just missing him, and his separation is damn good, right? For a receiver that's not the fastest guy, he separates really well. I kind of allude to him in terms of route running, maybe to a Noah Brown. Because, you know, Deebo Samuel said Noah Brown's route running is really good. And you don't even think Noah Brown is that kind of guy to have really true good route running. But it is now making sense as to why is Noah Brown always open, right? He's always open. And maybe that's the case for Luke McCaffrey, as he was able to get, you know, 168 receiving yards last year, right? And not really too much ultra production. But catch this, though. 9.3 yards a catch. That's what he's doing. So he's basically averaging almost a first down a catch. So maybe, just maybe, if he's able to get more opportunities this year, maybe that allows him to put up ultra production. Because last year he played in all 17 games. And he had 18 receptions on 24 targets. Remember, I said he doesn't really drop the ball. Right? He does not really drop the ball at all. Given the fact that when he gets his opportunity, that means he's only had 6 incompletions last year. And quite frankly, out of those 6 incompletions, I guarantee you about 3 of them was overthrows or incomplete passes where he wasn't able to catch them. I highly doubt Luke McCaffrey was just out here dropping passes and not being productive. I can't wait to see what he does. I think this preseason is going to be huge for him. If you guys didn't know, we are, you know, going up against the Bengals starters on Monday night in the second preseason game. So maybe our starters play. But even still, he'll get some good action in this preseason. So I'm excited to see what we do against these Patriots in the joint practice and in the first preseason game. But all I'm saying is, man, don't be surprised if Luke surprises a lot of people this year and has a ultra better second year, right? To go from 168 yards to roughly about where I say 500 is cool. If he can give me 700, that is massive. But I think as him being the wide receiver 4 on this team, about 500 receiving yards would be crazy good for him this year. But I really hope they give him the opportunity to lock down this kick return spot, because even if he doesn't be a guy that you can rely on heavily in a pass game or in a receiving game, I think he's your guy for kick returns. To set you up with positive field position, to even take one to the crib, that can be Luke McCaffrey. And I have this funny feeling that he's going to be your third down machine. I think he is. Your go-to guy on third downs, especially in that slot, I think that's going to be Luke McCaffrey. Your red zone go-to guy, what? Clearly Zach Ertz, right? But your third down machine between Deebo and Terry and Luke, I think those 3 guys are your main third down guys. But I can just picture Luke McCaffrey on a 3rd and 4 running a nice little zig route and getting the first down. Because he has 9.3 yards per catch last year. It's almost a first down each time he touched the ball. So there's some talent and there's some yak ability in Luke McCaffrey. But according to Kliff Kingsbury, it's a night and day difference. So what we saw last year was complete garbage compared to what he looks like now. According to Kliff Kingsbury, it's night and day difference from him in year 2. So we'll see. But keep your eye out for Luke McCaffrey and don't be surprised if the young fella turns up in year 2. But there you have it. Let me know what you guys think of this video in the comment section down below. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you get notified and upload new videos like this to the channel. We're on the road to 11,000 subscribers, so we greatly appreciate it if you can reach that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a laundry.